Howdy, Gabe. Welcome, Jeremy. Hello, Watchwoman. All right. Howdy, folks. Welcome back. I told you I would be back. All right, here we go. Hold on tight. We had an X-Flare tonight, or today. Let's get this started. And it doesn't look like much really on the satellite here, because it was kind of this long duration event right there. It kind of popping with these M flares here, and then we had this slow, long kind of duration X flare right there, and then a little drop out of data. It goes into the next day, not the X flare, but this whole event is still expanding. Note these spires. You see how it's bright right here? Watch it brighten up over on this side. Okay, see how dull it is? How there's one. Now watch, as something approaches here, it starts to brighten up on that side. And do you see how wide this area of brightness is right here? It looks like we're about to have another big event here. Okay, that big old field is brightening up and widening out. You see stuff starting to come out of it already right there. It looks like we might be about to have an event right over here. Meanwhile, we got this one that's still here growing, all right? It's not doing much on this side, but it's indicating that there's something down this way pulling on it or something, okay? But look, over here, as something approaches, you see how this brightens up? I'll let that play one more time. Okay, there's really not too much to see. There's no good crystal clear image of any object today, but all right, there's your activity. Now we're going to go into tomorrow, or now the 29th. Had this ready. All right, so here's the continuation of our event here. Let me go to the next frame. Okay, so that's where we left off right there with our long duration event kind of here. See how bright it is over on this side? And then look, something's about to pop out right there. In fact, something did. That's frame 8 of 9. Right, there it is. The very last frame here. We got something right here, making an indentation in the readings right there, and it's right in that bright field. Okay, something, I knew something was coming out of there. Still something going on here. Maybe something hanging out here and not moving out, just positioned there, causing this crackling. It's also that sunspot. Something is aggravating that sunspot. So while we're pulled in here, let me just kind of, let me slow that down a little bit. Like cat ears, or like cat car? Yeah, like cat ears, yeah. Whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. Go back other direction. Stay right there. Okay. I want to go back a little bit to yesterday, get this into motion here. All right, so there's the very beginning of it. Okay, and then you saw the very tail end. Right there. Then we switch over to the rest of it right there. Okay, so that's your event today. Now let's get on over here to the solar ham. Let me zoom in on this real quick. And today during the event, I saw it to spike a little bit, and I thought, oh, here we go a little bit. And it started to climb into M territory. Why is this? There we go. And continued on up. So I posted a few in the community as it reached X level, and it was an X 1.1. Okay. And look at our bumpy day. M class, X class, another M class right here. Right there's a lot of activity. All right, our day started off kind of quiet. We have our little drop out of data, whatever, okay? But you can see we had a steady uptick here, and now another uptick here. Okay, and now we've had an X flare. And we were talking about this last night, and I started to agree with them at their 25% potential. I thought it yesterday or the day before it should have been higher. But since that flare, that sunspot was kind of dying down, I had a tendency to agree with them. But it caught us off guard. We got our X flare anyway, okay? So as you can see here, we had the first one was a M7.1, an M6.1, our X flare at 1.1, and then another M flare right there at 3.2. All right, all coming out of this region, 3615. Okay, this thing right here has not cleared the limb yet. It's in that strike zone where we're magnetically connected to it, like I was telling you last night. Here's the R3 radio blackout, all right, that it caused on the West Coast here and partially into the country as well. I got a better image of that on another site, but let's back up a little bit here. So our solar indices right now are a little elevated here at 173. Our solar indices are elevated now a little higher in this band of 173, which should bump this X flare potential up a little higher, I believe, because we just had one. And you saw, look, you saw that region starting to brighten up and how big it was. I think we're about to have another event there, and it could possibly be another X flare. We just tasted one. All right. And that was the weak one. Usually there's like 2 or 3 in a row. So hold on tight. And this one was directed at us. There was not much of a CME, but you could see that it did hit our D layer absorption. Okay. We'll go over to that later here in a second. For right now, the 3-day forecast is all zeros. Okay. But that might change here soon. We'll see. Still this very dangerous one, and 3614 dying away. For right now, our KP index, we've taken on like moderate energy. It's not a bunch, it's all down below 3, okay? Very mellow, but still a tad bit, okay? A slow trickle. Here's your aurora real quick. You can see that they're nice and faint, okay? That's what we want. Nice and dull and faint. We're not taking on a bunch of energy right now. Okay, now let's get to this little article. AR 3615 produced an X 1.1 solar flare peaking at 2056. Just like all of the other flares around this region, it does not look like a noteworthy coronal mass ejection will be associated. Thankfully, the large sunspot cluster continues to move closer towards the southwest limb. Okay, here's your D region layer map real quick. Let's see if we can. Well, I got a better version of that. But right now, here's your X flare right at our 3615. Still hasn't cleared the limb. So if the light from it hit us, bing, any kind of CME or plasma ejection from this, even if it's directed that direction or whatever, we would still get a glancing blow because it's still facing us. We still receive the light from it. So see the impact, we would still receive any kind of plasma that would come with that, with probably 2 days instead of 3. Okay, X flares move a little faster, we found. So going back, so that's why I said on this geomagnetic forecast here, this last day might change. Okay, it could have the possibility of changing. We'll see what kind of ejecta came off of that. See, these guys don't show much coming off, but when we come back over here, mind you, this is going out in front of us, all right? There is some ejecta there. It's an X flare. So some of that ejecta is going to go out in front of the planet. I believe. It doesn't look like a huge CME, but it's certainly something there, all right? A little bit. I'll let you guys be the judge of that as well, all right? And then we come over here to the tail end of it. Let me speed this up a little bit. You see the energy that's coming with it, all this plasma and stuff that's still out there. Here, let's switch it over to this side. Okay, and that region just got so much bigger. Let me back out just a tad. All right, this region grew so much bigger from the beginning of the day, and as you can see, it intensifying as something's about to move through this region right here. I have a feeling we're about to see a couple of objects pass through there, maybe a big one, and popping off a possible another X flare. That's why I believe that this potential should be a little bit higher. Whoops, this potential up here should be a little bit higher. Okay, leave that up to you as well. Okay, let's come over here to the tracker real quick. There's a good shot of your X flare. I want to see. This appears to be the one from yesterday, still kind of moving away from us. All right, so that's good. We really don't need to get too deep into that. But what I want to talk about here also while we're zoomed in, our IMF line comes around the side and plugs into the sun in this quadrant. Here's the limb. This line right here would be where that sunspot would rotate past that line, then it would be beyond the limb and it would start firing out in this direction, right? But it's still over in this quadrant right here, hooked right up to our magnetic field line, which the McPherson effect or whatever they talk about. All right, so we still got that's why I believe there could be energy arriving still along our IMF line still in 2 days. Even though we had the X flare travel down it, we could possibly still get some. Well, when they say no Earth directed CME or whatever, and then something catches them off guard in 2 days from now, they'll be like, "Oh, where'd that come from? We didn't expect that." Well, it's probably be residual from this X flare that we had today. We'll see. But when I go back, please, when I see this right here, okay, you see the positioning of it? It's not even close to the limb yet. It's back a little bit. It's right at our IMF line. That may have been triggered this. Crossing our IMF line may have helped induce this or something. All right. As AR3516 woke up this morning, that's an old article. All right, let's move on. Here's the D region layer map. I probably waited too long. Oh, there it is. All right, there's our impact right there from the X flare. You see how it covered the West Coast? It actually kind of went in a little deeper into, almost the Rockies and stuff. So you can see that's the main part of the impact, and that was red. That was an intense R3 radio blackout, okay? So caused some issues. Some people were streaming today and probably had some issues. So, let's play the movie little thing. All right, so there it goes fading away. Here, let's just do this. It's a little faster. Okay, so we took on some energy. Where's that energy go? To the core. What happens then? Yeah, it clamps down, seizes up, pressure builds up. Now here's another one. You see that right there? That's another hit right there. That's that M-class flare. All right, so we had 2 impacts right there in our X-class right at the beginning, plus these 2 as well, this one and this one. All right, so we've had 4 impacts today within a 24-hour period, at least. Okay, this is just across the date line, but within a 24-hour period, we've had an X-class and 3 pretty good, healthy M-class flares, all directed at us. That's energy absorbed, that goes down to the core, that's going to relate to pressure down below. All right. Let's get back to this real quick, though. The X-class solar flare giant sunspot region AR3615 just produced another strong solar flare. Peaking on March 28th, the X1 explosion ionized the top of the Earth's atmosphere and caused a deep shortwave radio blackout over the Pacific Ocean. This follows similar blackouts over the Indian Ocean and South American earlier the same day, due to strong M-class flares. All right, this that was before the 4th one. Okay, so we've had a 4th one, the other M-class flare. So 4 M-class flares, strong M-class flares in the same day, all AR3615, and more flares may be in the offering. Okay, especially another X-class. I don't want to put it out there, but we need to be adults about this and start addressing this seriously. The sunspot approaches the danger zone. After a few days of stalled progress, 3615 is growing again. A 50% increase in surface area since yesterday has ballooned one of its dark cores to triple the size of Earth. I saw the sunspot this morning just off the wingtip of the RAF A400. See, mask behind the clouds gives a little filter effect. Bingo! There's your sunspot. The plane was doing training circuits. Okay, I really don't care about the plane. 3615 is approaching the western edge of the sun. That's the danger zone, just like we were talking a second ago. Sunspots located there are magnetically connected to Earth via the Parker spiral. 3615 erupts while it's transiting the danger zone. Energetic protons and electrons may be funneled back towards our planet for days-long radiation storms. That is what we don't want, okay? But it's there. The fact that this thing just burped out an X-flare, I thought it was going to die, fizzle out, and go away. All of a sudden, boom, look out. It's increased by 50%. Where did I say that? Right up here. 50% increase in surface area. Okay, and one of the dark cores triple the size of Earth. So, where's this other one? Real quick, let's come back up to this real quick. I want you guys to see this. There. All right, let's see. Pulling over just 10 more. I can't pull on this one. But here's your very big, that's the rash. Remember the rash when it was way over here? And then it started to form and had the multi smashed out. It's the same one all the way over here. Now it's this huge rash again. And you can see the complexity, size, the sheer size of it. I mean, look at that whole complex. It's scary, massive. All right. And it's still, here's the beta delta complex right here. It's not away over on this side. It's still on this edge of this massive sunspot. If it were only on the other side, we'd be a little safer. But it's back on the tail end of it, still spitting and sputtering. So, new warnings out there for possible more activity out of that, especially when I see this glowing so brightly, so quickly, growing in intensity from, come back here. Okay, see, you can see there was a hint, a few little spikes sticking out there. Over 800 earthquakes today on the planet. Yep, I bet we're going to do an earthquake report here in a little bit. But see how it kind of goes from just a few little spikes to a massive white field. It's not even spikes anymore. It's just this white field. So that tells me something big's about to pop out of there. Big means possible X. Okay? Just trying to be real with it. Not trying to scare you. Just trying to be real with it. If I'm wrong, I will be thankful to be wrong. Okay? I don't have problems being wrong sometimes. Well, especially when I'm wrong. It's the biggest part is admit when you're wrong. Okay, so boom, 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 boom. We covered all that. We're in the danger zone. Everybody hold on tight. We're in the danger zone. Okay, let's come on over now to the Schumann. Don't be scared. Be prepared. That's right. I love that. Okay, here we go. You can see we had some weakness right in this area. Come back very slightly and then weak again. And now we're experiencing another grinding session here. Let's see if we can get a couple more bars of data here. If we refresh, please, Lord. There we go. All right, so it was just a quick little bolt there. Okay, it wasn't much. Oh, good. I'm just loving you guys having a nice time in the chat, too. All right, so back to business. We have a little loss of power here. Whoops, that doesn't help. And you can see some other, dark band right there. So spitting and sputtering, very weak sometimes. Now, when we have these grinding sessions, that 7.83 is very intense. All these frequencies are very intense. White denoting the intensity on this chart, okay? The intensity of these low frequencies, all right? 7.83 is a low frequency. That's what our magnetic hum is to this Earth. When the little dynamo's spinning away in there, like a little motor, like a little electric motor that's spinning around, like a little slot car motor or whatever, when it's spinning, it's humming. There's a magnetic field around that motor. And when you stop that motor, that magnetic field dies. It's still there, but very weak, but it's not as strong, okay? Same effect. Now, when it grinds really hard, all these frequencies hit very intensely, okay? And it messes with your equilibrium sometimes. So, boom, 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 boom. This is also an indicator of pressure down below. We have built up so much pressure now that the core shell are grinding at the barrier. All right, that's what causes your trumpet blast, your skyquakes. Okay, that low frequency emits off the surface of the Earth, emits outward up into space, yet it hits the ionosphere and bounces back down. When it bounces back down, it makes an echo, like you yell and it bounces off a wall and you hear the sound come back. Well, these are echoes of the sound coming off the surface of the Earth, hitting the ionosphere and coming back down, indicating what is coming out of the Earth. Now, these frequency right here came out of the Earth. That's why the skyquakes sound like they're coming from the sky, yet they feel like they're coming from the ground, because they are. They come from the ground. They emit from the surface of the ground. They're low frequency, so you can't hear them when they emit from the ground. But once they go up and they bounce off the ionosphere, they come back down. They crisscross. Some intersect ones. Some intersect different. You got ones going up in an angle and ones coming down in an angle, like an X. And where they intersect, it's a lot more intense and becomes audible. And then you hear the sky trumpets, those sky blasts. The mystery booms are a mystery no more. The skyquake mystery is a mystery no more. Okay, let's move on. Let's get on over here to the polar vortex here. The lack thereof a polar vortex now. We are winding down. It's more like a little swirly kind of, it's been diffused and broken up. There is a still kind of central rotation here, but it's not as strong. And there are other configurations now that have taken over down in the lower latitudes that are stronger than the polar vortex now. All right, so our weather pattern has changed. We're going into spring, and there'll be less polar reports because there's nothing there to report until we get back into fall and winter again. All right, so diffusing out, boom, 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 boom. You see that? Let's go down to the transition layer. Now, our transition layer is what's picking up a little bit in intensity. You can see it kind of oscillating up and down right now, hitting like that. That translates to the upper jet stream, like so. Okay. We have this high ridge, this ridge right here that's causing, energy go way up and shunt south, taking cold air, grabbing cold air from the north, mixing with warm air from the south, right over that part of the country, and then traveling straight across, kind of, taking its little S loop. Look at this. It goes off the coast and comes back in. Off the coast and comes back in. All right. Now let's take you down. Why did I do that? Oh, because I liked it. All right, let's just go to the lower jet. Thank you, Lord. All right, so you can see how it's coming out, snaking, and still going back up into New York, Maine area, Massachusetts area, right up through there. Okay, so that's your lower jet stream that the storms are riding on right now. We'll come over here, drop back down, even lower to our storms here. Okay, here's this one grinding away off the Pacific, bringing weather into California and the Pacific Northwest. Okay, we have another ridge right here, bringing stuff over and in. Another storm lined up back here. So look at this. 1, 2, 3 storms lined up in a row right here. They're all going to go across the U.S. Here's another one right here, already there, kind of. So 1, 2, 3, 4, all lined up in a row, kind of like that. Welcome to spring. Let's come on over to our particulates, show you the dust storms, current dust activity. Oh, nothing to see there. Only 4-month-long massive sandstorm that's just been wreaking havoc on this part of the world for a while now. this one in Saudi Arabia seems to have kind of calmed down. Up here by China, there's a little patch, but it's not too big. A little white patch right up above India, actually, here. This is more the one that was over China. So we have a little dust storm kicking up there. Or it could just be traveling from the winds. Yeah, the wind pattern's kind of taking some of this and spread it around, it looks like. But still, intense sandstorm right across the Black Sea, right through this region. Notice it's also kind of hitting Israel, right up through, across the Mediterranean, up through Turkey here, the Black Sea, going all the way up into, clear up into the Arctic. What? There's Iceland right there. Okay, Iceland's about to get a sandstorm. What? You can't make this shit up, dude. You cannot make this shit up. I'm sorry. Pardon my French. I'm trying to sew my filter back together again. But look at that. Okay, sure, whatever. There's nothing wrong with the planet. Let's just come over to the SO2 now. All right, so here's America. We got bleeding out on one side, clearing out on the other. All right, kind of darkened up over in this region again. I'd say a little bit of darker pressure. Look at these 3 spots right here. Boom, boom, and boom. Whoa, that did not look good. Don't look at that, folks. Look over here. They've got some pressure going on over here again, kind of creeping up into this region some more. China's pressure's on the rise. We got, well, look at that. Look at this. All diffused out, but look how much is coming out of this part right here in the channel. This is right where Krakatoa is right there. So this must be like emissions from it or something out here in this channel. The rest of the island looks like it's lightened up a little bit. And let me hit the winds real quick in there. Got the digitized square effect there, please, Lord. Yeah, a lot of the wind. See, look, the wind is taking it offshore. So you take a lot of this, shove it back down on the island. Regardless, I see this area much more dominant and much darker. Okay, so that tells me an increase in pressure when you see dominant spots as well. Okay, here's another dominant spot. So I think pressure's kind of on the rise again here, you guys. Let's come over to our fulcrum point over here in South America. It's about the same as yesterday, and we had said that yesterday it had darkened up in this region too. It hasn't changed, so it looks like pressure's on the rise, or we have some pressure built up. Okay, and maybe everybody's just catching up to South America or something. I don't know. Whoa. All right, take the wind off of there again. All right, so there's your sulfur dioxide, please. Thank you. All right. Just kind of look around one more time. I want to see something real quick. Uh-huh. Okay. All right, so even Europe's still bleeding out here. It's a mess. It's a lot of sulfur dioxide coming out of the planet right there, right now. Not so bad over on our side, but we do have a country divided down the middle there. All right, so there's your sulfur dioxide report. Oh, do I want to do that one tonight, Lord? No. Which other one? What are you talking about? Oh, the southern polar vortex. Yeah, okay, here. Check out the southern polar vortex here real quick. I was reminded to show you this. You can see our it's more concentrated or more organized, okay? Our little sub vortex is kind of petered out and gone. So this thing's coming to life. Note this little bubble activity right here. It's almost as if there's like some kind of spheroid right here that's causing air to go around it and eddy, almost like something controlling this flow. That flow wants to go right into here. Something's disrupting it right there. It looks like to me, it looks like there's a little island right there that's disrupting it or something. Maybe that's the case. Interesting. Anyway, let's move on. So we have that pressure building down below, and then it translates into earthquakes and volcanoes. And let's get into our earthquake report. We had over 800 volcanoes today. Most of them are small. But let's get into our deep region right here, where most of our activity originates. No deep quake right there. We do have a current quake right here. Not current, but just recent. A 5.0 at the surface. We are seeing energy being released at the surface at a 5.0 magnitude, much like we're used to seeing. Okay. Can we close that out? Thank you. All right. So there's a fresh one. So there's a fresh red one right there. Okay. If that one hadn't just happened, block that out. Look how quiet the rest of the map is. Okay. So let's get into this next one right here. Please, Lord. 4.6 down at 10. 4.5 at 10. And a 4.9 at 52. A 5, basically. So 5 in a mid-range 4 on either side of the island of Java. Please just pop up something. Okay. Island of Java, purple island of Java. On either side, we had earthquakes. So that could also be an indicator of the, remember it was a little less in there? A lot of it had blown offshore, but it looked lighter. Well, it could be because we had release of energy in the form of earthquakes today as well. Then we had a lot of concentrated gas at this inlet. Okay, right in this region right here. Something going on in the water right there. Or right at this site, that's a little volcano. There's some other little guys. And then right out here is Krakatoa, the old Krakatoa. All right, this is the one that blew up and sent a big old shockwave. And there's volcanoes on either side of this channel. See that? So we see a lot of gas emissions from this region right here, probably because of all this stuff that's right here. Plus, we got Semaru and we got Merapi on this island, and then Marapi right up here. So a lot of vents and a lot of earthquakes. This has been our relief valve area. So, not so much volcano gas today. We did have a couple of quakes on both sides of the island. Not just one, not here on the plate. Look. This is not plate boundary activity. This is here on either side of the island, down in this little trench. You see how there's a plateau that comes off this island, and then it drops in depth down there. There's a little mountain ridge, underwater mountain ridge right here, and it drops down into this little trench, this little valley down below here. And in the little pit in that valley, look at this. You can almost, whoops, let me back out. You can almost see this fault going across it right here. See this crack running right up into the island, right off of the main fault here. It's like it's crawling right up the wall of the mountain right there. That's like an underwater wall climbing up like the face of a mountain, and right there in the middle of that crack is this 4.9 or 5. Okay, so mid-range 4 and 5 energy like we're used to seeing, except this time both sides of the island. Very quiet up through there. We have this little area right here. Check out the big one. Is a 5.0 at the surface. That's energy being released. 4.4 down at 154. We have a little semi-deep activity there, but not too deep. All right, backing out. There's nothing else around that area. A couple mouse sparks over there, but let's go this direction instead. Back to having 2 quakes at our fulcrum point over here. May I have this one? Please, Lord. Any day now. All right, so while we're waiting on this thing to kind of respond here, I know a lot of you guys are holding on tight. Please, Lord, what's happened here? Okay, there we go. Now we're working. 5.1 here in Afghanistan, and that's down at 106. What's this other one? Is a 4.4 at 91. So we had this 5.0 or 5.1 down a little deeper, and then an aftershock with a 4.4 closer to the surface. Not at the surface, but a little closer. So double quakes there at the fulcrum, and then notice how quiet. Nothing. That's kind of a scary quiet. We're actually got a little quake here on the Mid-Atlantic Ridge finally. Iceland has been the vent for that area lately, but we do have a 4.8 here on the Mid-Atlantic Ridge here at a depth of 10. So surface quake, energy being released, 5 magnitude, right around there. And notice how kind of quiet it is, even though we've had all these little small quakes. Please. All magnitude, please. Story of my day. All delayed reaction. You click on something, then 30 seconds later it responds. So just a little bit of flurry, a really small micro quakes right there. And then coming down here to California, just off the Juan de Fuca, we got some activity right here at the geysers. And a little small quake up here, 1.5. But these are all the smaller quakes. But what we're looking for is a small quake flurry like this. And that's a good indicator of pressure down below being relieved in this area right there. So that's good. It keeps it from building up and snapping off on the San Andreas, right? All these little mouse farts going down the way here are all relieving energy in small fashion instead of, small ones over the course of time, spread out instead of one big one. 3.4 there in Mexico, though. And our little flurry in Texas. Something up here in Oklahoma. 3.1 here in Oklahoma. We all know what's going on there. This is the one that concerns me. 2.8, Germantown, Illinois. A lot of you guys that stick around for the spiritual report have noticed that a lot of these names of towns are speaking to us. Back a while ago, there was a 7.0 in Anchorage, Alaska. All right. And Anchor is the father. He's the anchor. We're in the anchor age, a 7.0 anchor age. You got to watch this stuff. Germantown. Uh-oh. We got activity in Germantown. What's that going to tell us? Everything has weird connotations to it. You guys watch. You'll see what I'm saying. So that was the Oklahoma. That's a Germantown, Illinois. Everybody in Illinois, you guys better wake up. This is also indication of the New Madrid waking up. Little 2.0 over here too. Okay. Way up here. Look at this. Whoa, we got activity right off of Long Island here. Is up in Connecticut. Uh-oh, watch out, you guys up here. You guys might start shaking too, especially when we have pressure built up. See, spots like this that are diverse could be indicators of a weak point later on when pressure does build up. Okay, so watch out. Okay, so there's your earthquake report. Let's get on over to volcano report. Kick this one out of the bucket. Reports of power outages all over New York. Really? I was changing my phone. Finally can say hello to all of you. Oh, good. Diana, we made it. All right, cool. Sorry, I'm just checking out the chat while we're waiting. Already into the 29th. Popo, Semeru, Ibu, Tacona, Marapi, Sangay, Nevada, Ebico. Here we are, Ebico. 10,000 foot blast today out of that. Ibu had a 12,000 foot blast today. Discrete emission. Yeah, just a 12,000 foot high discrete emission. All right, Semeru. Probably 12 to 14, somewhere in that range. It's usually pumping up there. Marapi, 13,000. Okay, so it's probably pretty close to whatever Marapi did. So 12 to 13 probably on Semeru here on Java. Well, we could read more, but then we have to go through. No, we don't. And I didn't have more, much more. Moving on, Dakota, 8,000. Popocatépetl, 21,000. Nevada Del Ruiz, 23 out of Sangay. That's a pretty high blast, 23. Okay, let's pop into the 28th, which was today. It's now yesterday. Oh, it's working. It's coming. Hang on, folks. It's going to happen. All right, there we go. Reykjanes. Now, let's talk about Reykjanes here for a second. The eruption continues at stable but low levels. The lava spattering of molten pyroclast continues from the spattering rampart system. 3 dominant cinder cones continue to generate plastic lava fragments that have been building edifices. Where is the other article I had on this? All right, well, eruption continues at Reykjanes here. I had something else. Please, Lord, can we have the mouse back? All right, Ebico, anyways, still going off here. That's up by the Kamchatka Peninsula. I hate it when this happens. All right. Reykjanes continuing. Ebico, 10,000 foot. All right. Semeru, 14,000. Okay, so there we go. Semeru, 14,000. Marapi, 13,000. The explosive eruption at the volcano continues. Another powerful explosion occurred from the crater vent last night. What's this? Atka? Got another one. The alert status for the volcano was raised to yellow as a minor, short-lived explosion took place from the volcanic system last night. All right, so here, look at this. Here we have a brand new volcano. Just popped onto the map here. The alert status was yellow now, but it said a short-lived explosion took place last night. So we have pressure down below. I told you, and now we have it showing up with a new volcano added to the list. Ta-da! Popo, 22,000 feet. Santa Guido, this one's always very high. I need to know. Please. Oh, I don't want it that way. Where? Flight level 12,000. No, that's the summit. I wanted to know how high that blast was because Santa Guido, Guatemala, usually is pretty high. Sporadic emissions. All right. Fuego, 15,000 feet. Nevada del Ruiz, 20. Sangay, this is another one, 19,000 feet. Sabancaya, unable to detect. Barren Island in the Indian Ocean. Is this another new one? Explosive activity continues. Volcanic Ash Advisory Center Darwin warned about a volcanic ash plume that rose up to 8,000 feet. So, Barren Island in the Indian Ocean, tack it on the list as our new volcano at an 8,000-foot blast. Two new volcanoes, Barren Island and Atka. So, just going to town here with new volcanoes. Oh, we need that list. I want that list. Oh, dang. All right, so check it out. We've got two new other volcanoes added to our growing volcano list. That tells you the pressures on the, when I show you those maps and you see the darkening and the pressure rise, and then we see our corresponding volcano reaction. All because the sun, these are all like dominoes, kind of. Once the sun does this, then all these kind of reactions happen. Now here's your weather. I'm going to go ahead and start this loop here and let this play for a second for you while I say a prayer. Please, Lord, give them the strength. Give them the courage. Give them the peace to tolerate what we're going to report on tonight. This disturbing information can be not so bad when you look at it in proper perspective. Okay. You saw all that. Pretty crazy, huh? So a lot of that's going to change. Let's just get going. So as we go into the morning of the 29th here, storm approaching the Pacific here as this is wrapping up. This is a 989 low here. That thing was a monster. So we go into the noontime. We start to see snow creeping in the Sierras, rain in the middle California. Yeah, excuse me. Ooh. Excuse me. Noon, there's convection. So convection here, we have this thing still rotating back into, into Maine here. Ice, snow, and stuff still going on there. Meanwhile, California getting hit with rain and snow by the convection of the 29th tomorrow. Or today now, whatever. The nighttime of the 29th. Morning of the 30th. Now, severe weather now down here in Southern California. You see this thing wrapping up? Do you watch this thing? It looks like a little miniature hurricane or a little, see it rotate like that? So this is going to probably end up happening. We're going to have some severe weather here in Southern California. Everybody down there, wake up. We're talking mudslides, coastal erosion, flash flooding, possible waterspout touching down on land, possible tornadoes. Okay. All of the stuff that comes with severe weather could be happening to Southern California the morning of the 30th. It continues through the noontime. There we go into convection, the nighttime, morning of the 31st. Noon, convection, nighttime. Morning of the 1st. All right, you see this low right here. You see these two air masses. By noon, they start to merge right there. They kiss at convection. You see these speckled yellow spots? Little pop-ups possible all over the place. That you see that? So this little event could change, but here we have severe weather possibilities, and these aren't very it's not like a QLCS where we have a nice storm front. These are very speckled, and they could be popping up in different places than this. This is very like unpredictable, popcorny type weather. And that's the convection of April 1st. Okay, so by the sundown, when cloud tops at their highest, we could have little outbreaks in little different spots. We'll see. Then, as we get into the nighttime of April 1st, no fooling. Okay, this is where it's going to get severe and serious. When we're looking here, this northern part up here could be very dangerous. All right. Also, these southern little branches, these little linear lines of pop-ups in between, that is not the kind of setup I like to see. It's very, very dangerous. And I pray to God that this changes. Because right there, the morning time of the 2nd, during the morning hours, Indiana, Ohio, again, you guys saw what happened there last time. Prepare for that to possibly happen again. Even on the back side of this rotation, you see these little guys. It's not looking good. So once they merge at convection, once the sun goes down, then the party's on. So that's what's dangerous. It's all going to be at nighttime. Morning time. That's the morning of April 2nd right there, which is not too far down the pike. That'll be the noontime. Convection. Look at this tail. Even though it's severed a little bit, we still have energy in the tail, and now we have a linear storm front. At convection with red in the center. As we go into the nighttime of the 2nd, morning of the 3rd, noon, convection. Look at this rotation coming back onshore. Remember how we were talking about that flow that was coming off and then going back onshore? You can see, well, no, I didn't want to do that. Oh, no, we have to go all the way back through all of this. Photograph. Can I have this, please? Go back, Lord. All right, my bad. I accidentally touched the mouse when we were on that page, and it does this, and you have to go all the way back through. But we will get there. Right there. That is just what I'm most concerned about right there. This event. Starting the nighttime of April 1st. So, boom, boom. That whole storm all the way through has different aspects to it. Snow on the backside, high winds. It's going to be knocking out power. It's going to be lots of rain, flash flooding. Here we are with severe weather. All right, that's what I was trying to get to. 979 right here off the coast. This is like New Hampshire, Massachusetts, going off the coast of Maine. Now, we got to think about this wraparound effect. This is taking moisture, water, and wind offshore, bringing it onshore. So you're going to see storm surge here. This thing has the potential of a 979 is a category 1. So it did lower in intensity from the last night's play or run. But right there is area to be concerned with again, and that'll be the convection on the 3rd. Going into the nighttime, see that severe snow right here? That's a 974 low, which, yeah, now we're talking category 2. So that 974 low has the winds, the storm surge of a category 2 storm with severe weather coming back on shore here. That could be possible waterspouts making landfall, turning into tornadoes up in Maine. I pray this is wrong, but we've watched this kind of stay very similar. It has had a few changes, but this storm is still kind of on track to happen. And if it starts to get like this, it could get a little problematic. 974 low right there. You're talking super high winds, super storm surge, deep snow, blizzard conditions, power outage. That's going to be nasty right there. And that's the nighttime of the 3rd, during the nighttime. Morning of the 4th, noon, convection, nighttime. Morning of the 5th, noon, convection, nighttime. Morning of the 6th, noon, convection, nighttime. See this thing wrapping up here. Morning of the 7th. Oh, it kind of dissipates, but we still get some icing out of it right there. So morning of the 7th, noon, convection. Another storm here, nighttime. See how this question mark has this little dot down at the bottom here? That's severe weather at the nighttime of the 7th. Let me back up a frame. Yeah, it even starts right there a little bit. So at convection, we have the question marks little dot right here starting to grow. We got snow, ice, and rain all right in that region. Question mark comes down. There's the little period at it, and then it blossoms at nighttime. There's the morning of the 8th. Okay, so possible severe weather in Louisiana around there the morning of the 8th. Other than that, it kind of dissipates, moves on. Here's another storm right here brewing on the 9th. This is so far out there that I don't want to waste too much time on it, but that would be the convection nighttime event. Very severe right there. And then down in the tail as well. That would be morning time of the 10th. And we're talking severe tornadoes up in North Dakota. You see a little linear front down here around the morning of the 10th. But what a crazy system that'll be, too. All right, so that's a little too far in there to go ahead and keep reporting on because it'll all change. But what matters is this next storm that's right here. This one we need to watch out for. And it's going to have a couple of lashbacks and stuff on it, too. And get a little break. This one right here is the question mark storm. Then the tail joins up with this. The tail of the question mark joined up with this thing. All right, so let's pray that doesn't happen. That's quite a powerful system right there at the end right there. We're talking about storm systems that would take up the entire country. Hang on, wait till that one comes back again. Those first two look like they're going to happen. It's when this little energy breaks off and collides with this. Wait. That is a big storm. All the way down from Mexico, all the way across up, covering a lot of Canada. These lines go all the way up off the page and back around too, okay? So that's a huge, huge storm. If it was shifted down over the country, it would cover the whole country. Notice our our eclipse path. God's been doing all kinds of, like, pointing at that, all kinds of stuff. There were 60,000 lightning strikes last week in that path during a storm. And I'm just like, what? All you saw was this little stripe of lightning strikes going right up the eclipse path. And I know how God works. He always dropping hints and using little clues. And all right, so there you go. There's your nasty storm. Big old question mark. What's going to happen after that point? Is it going to do that? Oh, hope not. Dang, that thing was huge. All right, so there's all that. Now, what are we going to do for the spiritual report tonight? I was going to bring up something. I forgot what the heck it was. You have to forgive me. I've been long days, long spiritual battle. You guys find yourself reaching over for a hand to grab onto sometimes? I was today. I was reaching to my right, grabbing that hand, and I found my jacket in the passenger seat, and it was something in my hand, and it felt good. It soothed me. I was like, oh, yeah, whew. Back to the spiritual room for a second. It's getting hard to hang out in this physical realm anymore. All right, I need to get back to something. What was I gonna? The image. All right, well, while we're kind of doing this, I got all kinds of stuff to read to you. So, in the meantime, while we're kind of waiting for the computer to cooperate, I'll get my other stuff together here. You guys take a couple of deep breaths and get ready for your spiritual report here. Hey, that's not the thumbnail I used. God dang it. Yeah, I guess we'll just start this one here for a second. It's just easier to pull up and start doing some reading, and then we'll get some other stuff tonight too. Oh, after an ad or something here too. Those guys, come on, partial skincare and hair care for men. Let's dance. This guy needs it. All right. Oh, patience is going to pay off. All right, so let's hang out that image for a second. Got that one pulled up. Get you guys kind of calmed down and relaxed for a few minutes here, okay? So everybody take a deep breath. I'm going to do the same here. All right. Let my love stream through you, washing away fear and distrust. Okay? So, let my love stream through you, washing away fear and distrust. A trusting response includes me in your thoughts as you consider strategies to deal with the situation. My continual presence is a promise, guaranteeing that you never have to face anything alone. My children teethe on the truth that I am always with them, yet they stumble around in a stupor, unaware of my loving presence all around them. When you walk through each day in trusting dependence on me, my aching heart is soothed. Gently bring your attention back to me whenever it wanders away. I look for persistence rather than perfection in your walk with me. Okay? I look for persistence rather than perfection in your walk with me. Hold my hand and trust. So long as you are conscious of my presence with you, all is well. It is virtually impossible to stumble while walking in the light with me. See, I designed you to enjoy me above all else. You find the deepest fulfillment of your heart in me alone. Fearful, anxious thoughts melt away in the light of my presence, don't they? That's why you guys are here. Fearful, anxious thoughts melt away in the light of my presence. When you turn away from me, you are vulnerable to the darkness that is always at work in the world. Don't be surprised by how easily you sin when you forget to cling to my hand. In the world, dependency is seen as immaturity, but in my kingdom, dependence on me is a prime measure of maturity. Okay, your dependence on me is maturity. Pretty cool how that works, huh? Okay. Now, open your hands and heart to receive each day as a precious gift from me. I begin each day with the sunrise, announcing my radiant presence. By the time you rise from your bed, I have already prepared the way before you. I eagerly await your first conscious thought. I rejoice when you glance my way. Bring me the gift of thanksgiving, which opens your heart to rich communion with me. Because I am God, from whom all blessings flow, thankfulness is the best way to draw near me. Sing praise songs to me. Tell me of my wondrous works. It's not for me to hear. It's not to stroke my ego. It helps you. It helps your mental state. Okay? I hope you guys are starting to figure out how that works. I eagerly await your first conscious thoughts. I rejoice when you glance my way. Bring me the gift of thanksgiving, which opens your heart to rich communion with me. Okay? Sing praises to me. Tell me of my wondrous works. And remember that I take great delight in you. I rejoice over you with singing as well. So, now this next one, okay, help me, Lord. Try to stay calm. Try to stay calmly conscious of me each day, no matter what. Now, that's a tall order. I struggle with that today. I was holding on for dear life, trying to stay calm. So, I'm going to say it again. Try to stay calmly conscious of me each day, no matter what. Remember that I go before you as well as with you into each day. I'm right here with you guys right now, going through the same things you are. Okay, so no matter what, remember that I go before you as well as with you into each day. Nothing takes me by surprise. I will not allow circumstances to overwhelm you so long as you look to me. I will help you cope with whatever the moment presents. Collaborating with me brings blessings that far outweigh all your troubles. Have you guys found that yet here at this channel? I know some of you have. I can sense it. Collaborating with me brings blessings that far outweigh all your troubles. Awareness of my presence contains joy that can endure all eventualities. Okay? Awareness of my presence contains joy. Okay? What was the other one I had? Is that the one? Okay. All right, so this one too. Rest with me a while. You have journeyed up a steep, rugged path in recent days. The way ahead is shrouded in uncertainty. Look neither behind you nor before you. Instead, focus your attention on me, your constant companion. So I keep showing you guys this picture. This is your foundation. It's rock. Hold on to it tightly. Okay? The way ahead is shrouded in uncertainty. Neither look behind you nor in front of you. Instead, focus your attention on me, your constant companion. Trust that I will equip you fully for whatever awaits you on your journey. I designed time to be a protection for you. You couldn't bear to see all of your life at once. Though I am unlimited by time, it is in the present moment that I meet you. Right now, here on this channel. You're looking at me, you're listening to me, you are actually meeting me in the moment. Though I am unlimited by time, it is in the present moment that I meet you. Refresh yourself in my company, breathing deep draws of my presence. Breathe in. Take deep breaths of me, of my presence. Refresh yourself in my company, breathing in deep breaths of my presence. The highest level of trust is to enjoy me moment by moment. I am with you, watching over you wherever you go. Aren't I? Pretty cool, I think. I don't know. Everybody else seems to hate it. I don't get it, but now let's address another subject. I know you guys are tripping. It's hard to do. It's hard to do. So let me just kind of address this subject. With the threat of terrorism looming over the planet Earth, some people are saying and feeling that there is no place that is really safe. Okay? Now, in one sense, this is true, because evil people, especially terrorists, are unpredictable and ruthless. However, for Christian believers, there is no place that is actually unsafe. Do you hear me? Get this in there, into those crevices of your heart and in your mind, that for Christian believers, there is no place that is actually unsafe. Your ultimate home is heaven, and no one can rob you of this. Okay? No one can rob you of this glorious inheritance that can never perish, spoil, or fade. Okay? I am sovereign over everything, including your life and your loved ones. Okay? So nothing can happen to you or to them except what I allow. And I'm a lover, okay? So I want you to kind of breathe a sigh of relief. Nothing can happen to you or your loved ones, okay? Except what I allow, and it's only to strengthen you, okay? It's not to hurt you. So, the truth is, the world has been at war ever since Adam and Eve first sinned. The fall in the Garden of Eden rendered the earth a dangerous place where good and evil contend against each other continually. Okay? The earth is a place where good and evil contend against each other continually. So, it's crucial to be alert and self-controlled. Remember that your ultimate enemy, the devil, has already been defeated. I have overcome the world, and you are now on the winning side, my side. In me, you have peace. In me, you are always safe. Do you hear me? Your ultimate enemy, the devil, has already been defeated. I have overcome this world, and you are on the winning side. In me, you have peace, and in me, you are always safe. Your times are in my hands. So trust in me, beloved. I am training you to feel secure in the midst of change and uncertainty. I am training you to feel secure in the midst of change and uncertainty. It can actually be a relief to realize you are not in control of your life. Has anybody gotten that relief yet? Has anybody just surrendered? I know a few of you have. It can actually be a relief to realize you're not the one in control of your life. It's when you accept this human condition while resting in my sovereignty that you become increasingly free. You become increasingly free. This is for you. Okay, let me back up again. It can actually be a relief to realize you're not in control of your life. When you accept the big term acceptance, when you accept this human condition while resting in my sovereignty, you become increasingly free, don't you? Yeah. Yeah, I see the heads nodding. I know some of you are feeling it. Okay, so I'm not telling you to be passive or fatalistic. It's important to use your energy and abilities, but I want you to do so prayerfully. Pray about everything and search for me in your moments. That's the hard part to do also. It's important to use your energy and abilities, but I want you to do so prayerfully. Pray about everything and search for me in your moments. I am a God of surprises, so look for me in unexpected places, like YouTube. Yeah, no kidding, huh? That's what makes this so cool. All right. Now, I invite you to rejoice in each day that I have made, asking me to orchestrate its details and events. Since I am in control of your times, you don't have to be anxious about making things happen faster. I have a bad habit of doing that myself. I want things to happen faster. I am such a fast mover. I do 10 things at a time. And if one little thing gets in my way, all of a sudden I can only do 9 things at a time. And oh, that's hard for me. Okay. So I struggle with this. Since I am in control of your times, you don't have to be anxious. Leave that up to me, okay? Okay. So don't be anxious about making things happen faster. Rushing and anxiety go hand in hand, and I have instructed you not to be anxious. So, if you let me set the pace, I will bless you with peace that transcends all understanding. Okay? That peace that transcends all understanding is trying not to rush and be anxious. You see how that works? And I'm out there rushing around trying not to be anxious, and I've got halfway through the day and I'm praying and it's working, and come on, come back to me. And then for a split second, I have to deal with the physical world. We all have physical things to do in this. Why is this just coming and going? All right, stay, please. So we all have these issues that we have to deal with in the physical realm, right? So I'm in a rush, and sometimes I have to slow down too. And Lord, you set the pace. I will just sit here quietly and listen for the next instruction. So I'm doing this alongside you guys at the same time. It's just so awesome. I am so honored to get to be able to do this with you guys. It's just a true blessing. I had no idea was going to happen. Okay, so what was this next one I had for you guys? Is it that one? Oh, yeah. Here we go. This one ought to make you guys feel good, too. Your life is a precious gift from me. Open your hands and your heart to receive each day gratefully. It's hard for me, too. I'm in excruciating pain, and just crawling out of bed is like, oh, I'm facing an entire day of pain. Oh, what's on the agenda? Oh, a marathon. Oh boy. So it's hard to do that, but if you try and open your hands and your heart to receive each day gratefully, you'll see life as a precious gift a little bit more. We're working on it, okay? So, your life is a precious gift from me. Open your hands and your heart to receive this gift each day gratefully. Relate to me as your Savior and friend. But remember, I am also Creator God. All things were created by me. As you go through this day that I have gifted to you, look for my signs of my abiding presence. Like this. Look for my signs. You can come to my channel and find it when I go live, right? That's how you can find it. Yeah, all things are created by me, and as you go through each day that I've gifted to you, look for the signs of my abiding presence. I am with you, watching over you continually. On bright, joyful days, speak to me about the pleasures I provide. As you thank me for them, your joy will expand abundantly. On dark, difficult days, grasp my hand in trusting dependence, and I will help you. Have you guys tried it? It works. I will help you. I do every time. The more you open up to me, the more I can help you. The more you trust me, the more I can help you. Your physical life is an amazing gift, but your spiritual life is a treasure of infinite value. See, people who don't know me as Savior will spend an eternity in a terrible separation from me. See, I told you about those little holes and those pits with the blades. Oh my God, you don't even want to sense the... Oh, it was just terrible. Anyways, that's just one. So, let's repeat this again, because this is where we're talking about your physical life, your consciousness in this skin suit. Your physical life is an amazing gift, but your spiritual life is a treasure of infinite value. Well, what's your spiritual life? That's your courage, your character, your faith, with your integrity? Are you a happy person? Are you miserable? That's your spiritual life. Okay? So, and as well as your faith. That is your spiritual life. It's not a lighting incense and humming and doing a bunch of meditating. It's work hard, play hard, live hard, be uh, conscious hard. Can you do that? Can you be like super aware? Can you be conscious, hardcore consciousness? You know what that is? Hardcore consciousness, being aware of everything around you and the people and their feelings and how you can best accommodate others and their needs. Wait till you see the finish line, and then you look back, you're going to go, oh, this was all about serving people. I'm glad I took care of that person and took care of that person, and took care of this person, and we helped each other. Okay, back to where I was, though. So your physical life is an amazing gift, but your spiritual life is a life of infinite value. That's also overcoming things in your life. I was an alcoholic. I was bad. I mean, it killed me. I wound up dead in the hospital with a .47. If you guys know what a BAC is, then you know what a .47 is. Yeah, not good. And I thought my alcoholism couldn't be helped or cured. And by trusting in this man right here, everything worked out just fine. All right. So those things that you overcome, they build a little self-esteem. And now, not pride. See, people get this wrong concept. Oh, I've made this accomplishment. I'm king of the world. No, it's a spiritual accomplishment that I'm going to learn from and take and teach others. Okay, so back to where it was. That's why it's different. Your physical life from your spiritual life. Your spiritual life has infinite value. People who don't know me as Savior will spend an eternity in terrible separation from me. But because you, listening to the show now, replay years later, whatever, doesn't matter what time, it's still the same moment. I need you guys to grasp that. It's hard too. So, people who don't know me as Savior will spend an eternity in terrible separation from me. But because you belong to me, you will live with me forever, enjoying a glorified body that will never get sick or tired. Since I have saved you by grace through faith, see, since I have saved you by grace through your faith, let thankfulness for this indescribable gift fill you with overflowing joy. Let this gift fill you with overflowing joy. Hallelujah. I mean, yeah. Woohoo. The best news ever in history. Hallelujah. All right. I have saved you by grace through faith. Now let the thankfulness for this indescribable gift fill you with joy. All right, and I think I'm going to end with that one right there. We got a whole other segment. We got so much more for the next 10 shows, however many we got left here to go. All right, so let's see. Let's go through here. I want to read some of the chat real quick. I said plain and simple that most do not have the eyes to see, the ears to hear, or the mind to understand. And I certainly attest to that as the truth of how it is in the world. Wow, that was awesome. Who said that? Oh, that's a Russian name. All right. Very well. Very good. Absolutely. Thank you. They will have great faith. Matthew, yes, speak with power. and authority. Yes, speak with power and authority. You're hearing power, real authority, not these criminals that run the world right now. I'm talking real power, real authority, and your best friend, all in the same dude. Pretty cool, huh? Yeah, yeah. At first, that was enduring, and it's excruciatingly painful, and it's hard to be out in public for reasons that are rather kind of hard to talk about. But let's just say that I endure it all for you guys. I look forward to this part of the day where I finally get 5 minutes, well, actually 2 hours now, to myself away from the rest of the world so I can be with you guys. All right. Here, while we're here, there was another image. What else do we want to bring up, Lord? There's the image you had earlier. Oh, okay. Here, we're going to do, well, you guys have already seen the guy walking in the lightning already. I think we'll just kind of leave this image here tonight. And, boy. Oh, excuse me. Let's go back here real quick. I want to see what's going on with this. Just a little. Okay, our data dropout kind of finished off there, and current conditions it's actually kind of dropping down, going towards the seafloor there. So, but that can all change. Don't forget, we got this big bad boy. Whoops, take that one. A big bad sunspot right there on the limb still that's been kicking out all this energy. So we could possibly still get a little boost out of that thing. Okay, so everybody stay alert until that sucker crosses the limb there. We're kind of still in the danger zone. And what do you do when you're in the danger zone? Trust and rely and accept that you're not in control of your life. All right, once you let go and surrender, you can breathe easier. Okay, when you have issues, talk it out. Another thing, when you're praying out loud, something else happens as well. Your own ears hear your own voice. That's another relay to your brain, assuring yourself of how you think and feel. So, not only are quiet prayers, but spoken prayers. When you speak, I refuse to be sick, and you say it like I just did, and you mean it with conviction, I refuse to be sick. All of a sudden, your brain hears that, the whole universe hears that, and you meant it, and now that happens. Almost like mind over matter, your willpower, if used properly in accordance with my will work miracles. So, for people out there that are sick and going through a lot, keep repeating to yourself, I refuse to be sick. With conviction, knowing that it will work. Knowing, don't question, well, I think I refuse to be sick. Hopefully that works. No. I will never be sick another day in my life. Ever. You know why? Because I know why. And I refuse to be sick. You people that are in pain, you can't refuse to be in pain, but you can say, I refuse to let this pain stop me. It might slow you down, you might struggle, it might hurt, but I refuse to let this pain stop me. When you start thinking and living with that mindset in accordance with my will, miracles will happen. That's how you work it. Okay? That's why it's important. Spoken word is important. When you speak negative things, you hear negative things. It reimburses in your brain negativity. When you say, I refuse to be sick, Jesus will protect me. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. It's that easy. Okay? That's how the healing works. I can heal you. I can soothe your nerves. I can I can breathe life into you, and I can take your breath away too. So it's quite amazing. And you guys, you're finding your true selves, your spiritual self now. You have the same power and authority. You just keep listening to me, and I'm going to keep guiding you in the right direction, in this direction right here. Okay, to the man who did all the work already. You already have victory. Rejoice. Hallelujah. This actually took place. It's a real event. Here, we gotta play the lion part. Just to close out with that. I mean, it would be one thing if it just happened to look like a Jesus cloud, but no. It turns into a phase two. So your odds of something happening, there are no odds. You can't do that in this case, because this is something totally different. This happened on Easter. That should scream volumes. That should shake everybody to the core and soothe everybody at the same time. Some people at the same time. All right. Not a fluke. Real event on Easter. Hallelujah. Rejoice. I love you. I miss you. And I will be back. In fact, I am already back. And you guys can tell. I love you. I miss you. And until my next show, I'll be back.